Hello, I am the narrator, and before this episode begins, Maddie and Dr. Vince Norman will be talking about a very small blue creature. Without further ado, let the show begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maddie, and today we're going to be talking about the Smurfs. What is it? And did it come from a movie or a video game? Now, the Smurfs are a very small blue creature, light blue creature that has this very iconic, hat, as well as often only wears pants that form into shoes. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know that the Smurfs from the 1950s in their old cartoons, or even the live-action movies. But in 1958, a man by the name of Pyro created the idea of Smurfs through comics first.
The interview. How close is it related to the inspiration?
Hello, my name is Maddie and welcome to the interview. I am joined by a lovely individual. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, my name's Jay and I like collecting movies. Smurfs, the first one being one of them. And what do you know about the first movie, The Smurfs? Well, it goes a little something like this. In the movie The Smurfs, the movie starts off with the little Smurfs in a perfect life. But it wasn't until Gargamel found where their secret village was hidden. All of them running for their lives, 6 of them got separated and fell through a portal that led them to New York. Now meeting a small family in an apartment, they all agree to help the Smurfs get back home so that all their lives go back to normal, basically. So, they need one of two things in order to leave, of course, side plots. They need a magic staff, or not a staff, my apologies, a telescope to map out the stars, as well as a magical book. Right as they find the magical book, Gargamel catches up with them and foils their plan. So, they manage to be able to open up the portal and bring the rest of their village and have this, basically this major war happen on Gargamel. And it's really cool. First the Smurfs start winning, then Gargamel gets his foot up and starts winning, and then the Smurfs finish it off, and it's just crazy. And it all ends with Gargamel being left in New York and all the Smurfs going back home to their quiet little village. Well, thank you for your time. This has been Maddie with the interview. Back to the main show. The Smurfs are a very short blue humanoid-like creature with their caps that are inspired by physiation caps from Represent Liberty. Another thing is to know where their name came from. The creator supposedly went out on a dinner with some of his friends when he wanted the salt to be passed. Fumbling his words sometimes, he said scrumptive, or something similar to that, which was the original name for the Smurfs. Also, supposedly, these Smurfs are inspired by elves, so I think moon elves would be best fitted for them.
A clip of the character? And are there any Easter eggs or hidden things?
Down in the description, there is a trailer of the Smurf movie, the first one, of course, Also, onto the Easter eggs. Now, I know this isn't really an Easter egg, but it's more of just a hilarious fun fact. Okay, so in 2009, in Wales, about 2,500 people dressed up as the Smurfs in a nightclub, making it the world record. Now, in the movie Smurfs, when they're actually looking up what the Smurfs is, they were called Scufftrums, which is the French creator's accidental pronunciation for the word salt. Another thing is, later in the movie, whenever the Smurfs finally did find the magic book and opened it up, it was actually the original drawings of the Smurf comics. Dr. von Steumann, are you ready? Alright, ready to teach some people about some trolls. Wait, what? Yeah, what's wrong with that? No, actually the Smurfs were inspired by elves. Really? They don't look like them at all. You mean the Smurfs don't look like the elves from Lord of the Rings, right? Maybe? Well, are you still ready? Yeah, I know about the elves. I could still teach today. Now, there are many different races in elves, so we're just going to be sticking to moon elves, since I think, personally, that fits with them the most.
Where the legend slash myth came from. Information about the creature.
Now, one thing that I found very interesting is that the leader of the moon elves are normally picked by age, the oldest, is often the wisest, as well as somebody that has the most amount of skills, which I think fits Papa Smurf very well, seeing that he is the, of course, oldest, being about 100 and something, as well as having the most amount of knowledge about magic. Another thing that I found which has very similarities with the moon elves as well as with the Smurfs is their personality. That's right, not only do they both of them love the little things of just enjoying everything around them, but they also enjoy singing as well as arts, creating something.
How it looks, what powers or abilities does it have?
These elves are often described as beautiful as well as thin people. They have fair skin, sometimes tinged with blue, and hair of silver, white, black, or blue. Human-like colors are somewhat rare. Their eyes are blue or green with golden flakes. Moon elves, or at least the ones that train for war, know how to fight, as well as know how to cast multiple different types of magical spells. But that's not to say that moon elves love to learn, so other moon elves, like civilians, will often also learn how to do spells, which can either be arson or divine.
Is it mortal or immortal? Where does it live?
Okay, no one just says explicitly if moon elves are mortal or immortal, but we can do a little bit of... we can get the answer based on a little bit of context clues. Basically, moon elves have had to train for war as well as had war in the past, which kind of shows that they can die, that they have to fight for themselves. So, that. And another thing which is unknown is where they kind of live. See, moon elves are nomads, which means they're constantly traveling. They're constantly just on the go exploring. But they do often like to live near other races of elves. Moon elves are comfortable living nearby other elves. Race, particularly sun elves, other elves, gnomes, and halflings. these elves are relatively easygoing and are very much agreeable with other elves.
Who they hunt for, how to avoid them.
Now, let's make this clear. Not all moon elves are evil or despicable. Most of them will not go for humans. What they mainly hunt for is knowledge, constantly learning and making their big swole brain. It is common for a moon elf to become an adventurer. The desire to learn or do good. These elves that associate with the moon like to see the world with their own experience. Well, this is unfortunately the end of the episode. If you are fascinated by the Smurfs or the Moon Elves, there are links in the description that go more into detail about all the information we found about it. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and have a nice day. Good night, and bloopers. So my name's Jay. I love this like one little eye hole. Okay. Oh my gosh, my face is so itchy. Ah. I want to leave this. How do you emo people do it? Oh my goodness. Oh, so itchy. I got that song stuck in my head. I'm hopeless. Put it together and it just makes sense. And I'll be a happy snowman. I'm gonna tell him, don't you dare. Okay, I've been. We, oh woo, oh we, but it do. Put it together and it just makes sense. The elves don't look like Smurfs, doof. Okay, based on the fact that the moon elves snap. Alright. I forgot how much I love this wig. I mean hair. That's totally mine. That I grew. Bet you $5 I'm not saying that first one right. You know how you want to play some arson. Okay. Alright. Now that should be everything. I can retire. This is the end of the video. End of the video. End of the video. Pew pew. End of the video. End of the video. This is the end of the video. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. End of the video. End of the video. End of the video. Oh oh.